Shalom. Kol halalim la Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom to the prophets of that body, and shalom to the 144,001 third. May peace and blessings and the spirit of endurance be upon you and your households. Okay, this video I'm going to play. It's a story from about 7-8 months ago. Okay, but it is quite miraculous. It's just another example, all right, of how. It's an example of how the elect will make it through by the skin of their teeth into them chariots. Okay, now they didn't show a picture of the toddler that fell 15 stories from a project building, right? And that baby survived by bushes. So okay, paraphrasing the scripture, the things of this world are temporal, and the things that are seen are temporal, the things that are not seen are eternal. Okay, and we know Psalms 34 verse 7, the angels are around about. Okay, the elect. Now this child could be an elect member, we don't know. He's just a baby, all right, a toddler, a year, 2 years old or whatever, right? 2 years old, I believe. That's what toddlers are, right? 2 years old plus. Okay, and it's a Jake neighborhood because they interviewed a couple of the tenants within the building. Then I got a picture on another page of the little baby. 15 stories, okay? And most Jakes are scared of heights. And when you look down from 15 stories, look at this. 15 stories, bruv. Check that out. Right? And at the bottom is bushes. Brakti Yahweh Bahashem Yahshai, man, for his tender mercies. Now, this is amazing. And this is just an example of how, a lot of the elect are going to be saved, be it babies, children, be it men, women, and children. Okay? All right? The 1/3. Then you got the 144. They might escape in similar scenarios. All right? Where you got to jump out of building because, stormtroopers or martial law troops are coming into your house. And the Lord might make you disappear, or the Lord might put the spirit on you, say, jump out of the window. You might start flying, or just jump out of the window. And then you'll just fall several, a couple hundred feet, and you'll be like, not falling, you'll be just like floating down. You just don't know how the Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahshai, will do it. Okay, so this is amazing. I'm going to play it. Let's go.
Headlines around the world. A Montgomery County 2-year-old survived a 15-story fall at this high-rise behind me in Silver Spring. Fox 5's Bob Barton has a closer look tonight.
The toddler has survived to tell the story one day. Behind me is the Enclave. This is the apartment building here in Silver Spring. We went up to the 15th floor to get an idea of what that perspective was from the boy's point of view. Here is his neighbors, Mr. Mohammed Karoma.
Just look over there. You have to get them going down there. I don't know if the kid landed on the bushes. I don't know.
He landed on the bushes, apparently.
Yeah, that is a miracle, a miracle, man. Yeah, man. It's really sad.
These are the bushes that apparently...
As Jake saying, it's a miracle. And Satan, Prince of Power of the Air. Just pausing the message.
Apparently broke the little boy's fall. They're not much. The authorities say the boy was on the 15th floor. We circled the balcony there. It's a 20-story building. And around 2 p.m. Thursday, he fell from the balcony. We're told the boy suffered a broken leg and multiple internal injuries, but nothing life-threatening. We're told there were adults at home at the time, but police say they're still investigating how he got over protective glass that surrounds the balcony there. Reaction here in the apartment community this afternoon.
I feel like that children shouldn't be on the balcony, especially unattended, because why are they outside? I have 4 children, they are not allowed on the balcony. And we live on the 5th floor. So the 15th floor, that's crazy to me.
Because I have some chairs here, the kid might have climbed over. Because there's no way a kid can climb. A 3-year-old, nobody. There must be some equipment on the floor that the kid used to flip over.
It's definitely a tragedy. But people gotta watch their children. The baby shouldn't have been outside on the balcony.
We're all wondering how you can survive a fall from that height. We reached out to Children's National Hospital today to ask that of pediatric emergency medicine doctor Katie Donnelly.
I want to stress first, this is really miraculous, right? This is, falls from height are usually pretty devastating, if not fatal.
Dr. Donnelly says the weight of the child and the bushes that he fell into likely contributed to his surviving. Montgomery County Police say in terms of the parents or guardians of this child, no charges have been filed at this time. Back in you.
Okay, so indeed it was miraculous. All right, now here's a picture of the baby. There you go. Toddler survives 15-story fall. All right, a couple of minor scrapes and oh yeah, he is a boy. He's a young lad as well. Couldn't tell with the long hair. He sustained a broken arm, but no life-threatening injuries. And even the lady, what was her name, Miss Donnelly, was it pediatrician or the doctor, or whatever? She said this is quite miraculous. Okay, you got the West African Jake. All right, talking about it is a miracle. It is a miracle, right? And it is a miracle. Look at that. Jake is smiling away. I mean, look at him. It's a little frail, young baby, man. That's a boy? Got hair like that. Well, it says it's a boy. It's the 2-year-old TJ Thompson. 2-year-old, man. 24 months. 3 years prior to that, he was in the womb, just conceived. Man, it's amazing. Okay, recovery. As of July 2025, the toddler had his cast removed and is undergoing physical therapy. Family members described his survival as a miracle. Okay, so it happened in May 2025 at the Enclave Apartments in Silver Spring, Maryland. I mean, the parents are not being charged. Okay, I mean, there's probably a chair or something there in the balcony. I'm assuming because Jake likes to chill out, in the evenings, maybe at the balcony, and the little baby probably went out there and jumped on there. This is just an example of the Lord's power, man. All right. Let's go to Job 19 and 21. I'm going to read the KJV and the NLT. Job 19. Job 19, verse 20. My bone cleaveth to my skin and to my flesh, and I am escaped with the skin of my teeth. Okay. Now let's go to the NLT. Job 19 and 20, New Living Translation. I have been reduced to skin and bones and have escaped death by the skin of my teeth. Okay, and that was close. Do you know how weak and frail a young lad's bones are? Okay, so this thing is very spiritual, man. All right? The Lord is with, the underdog, Jake that have no might. And what did the Lord say as well? Even the feeble will be like King David on that day. Okay? All right? Even the elect men, someone you think that is a nobody, someone you might think that's not that tough, but on that day, he'll be like David. He'll be moving like lightning, He'll be like Michael J. White times a 1,000, with spiritual powers. Okay? Now, this is just an example of this is just like an example of the many multitude of ways, right? Many ways that Jake is going to be escaping death, imprisonment, martial law troops escaping from marauders, grapists, cannibals, right? You're running, escaping, jumping over fences, hiding in bushes, jumping off balconies, whatever the situation may be. And the Lord Yahweh Shemeshah has to be with you for you to escape. Okay? Has to be with you. All right? Job 19 and 20 again. I have been reduced to skin and bones and have escaped death by the skin of my teeth. Let's go to where is it? Psalms 34 verse 7. The angel of the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. Okay? Now we don't know what the outcome of this young child is going to be when all hell really breaks loose. We don't know what this child did in his past life. We don't know. We don't know the outcome. But a lot of babies are going to be saved. Okay? Now, obviously this child is 2. We don't know whether their parents are in the truth. We don't know. I don't know. Okay? But it's just an example of the Lord having mercy. Okay, for a regular child, if the Lord didn't have mercy on you, man, the Lord would have just deleted you straight up. There's no life-threatening injuries with this child, so that is miraculous. And we heard the term miraculous how many times? The West African Jake said it. Who else said it? The news correspondent, the Edomite-looking guy, said it, and the Edomite-looking woman, Donnelly, the pediatrician or doctor, whatever, she said it's miraculous. So we heard that 3 times, I believe, in the news segment there. Okay. Psalms 34 verse 7 again. The angel of the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yasha, encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. Okay. So this is just an example, and it should give you a faith booster as well. And the prophet from Saints of Jersey, the Ephraimite prophet, I don't recollect his name, please forgive me. He made a video the other day of angels protecting certain people, right? Different situations, all right? And it was a beautiful sight to see. And that's why the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Shai, is allowing these situations to be recorded, to be on the news, for cameras to be everywhere. So the elect or the hopeful elect can see these videos and their faith can be amplified. All right. Let's get 1 or 2 more scriptures. You saw how far that was, right? From the balcony, 15 stories. All right. That's quite daunting if you look over that damn balcony. It's like, damn. Hebrews 10:31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. All right. We've seen, many ways of how Eve is being judged, how Jake is being judged. And, I made a video the other day of a couple, a well-to-do couple. One was a truck driver. One was a lecturer or a teacher in a university. They bought their first house. They had a 4-year-old son. They come from a normal family, a loving family. Okay, like that video Elder Apostle Tahar made, all right, of the Jake woman having a dream of the chariots and people being CHIP'd. She's saying that the people that were also deleted, or people that weren't saved, were also nice people too. They were nice people. They're the people, they were helpful, but they still weren't saved. Okay, and that video I made the other day of the couple that got deleted, it was a husband and wife, and in a matter of hours, they both died of car accidents. They both died of car accidents. Okay. And they were nice people. They weren't thugs or gangsters or drug dealers or whatever, or criminals. They were just the way Jake is. Jake is normal, hardworking. Romans 10 verse 2. They love the Most High, but they don't have it. The knowledge, they don't have the right knowledge. Okay, because most Jake believe in the Most High, but they don't have it according to knowledge. They're going to call on Jeebus and celebrate Christmas and all that nonsense. Okay, so that's just an example of the Lord, deleting people in a gruesome way. But in this situation, the Lord had mercy on his baby, man. All right, the Lord delivered this child. Okay, got a few scrapes and bumps, but the Lord, protected that baby, and the baby. You saw the picture of the baby; he was smiling, right? Because the Lord says in it, he kills and he makes alive. None can deliver it out of his hand. Okay? So when the Lord's got it in for you on a final destination kind of level, right? The Lord might, play around with you for a bit just to stress you out. But the Lord's going to get you. Okay? But with this baby, the Lord had mercy, man. Protected that child. Damn it, that's the wrong one. Where are we? Lamentations 3:22 and 23. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. All right. Verse 23, they are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. Okay. It is of the Lord's, Yahweh Shem Yashai's tender mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. All right. And this is just another example, because the Lord says, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man can enter into the kingdom. All right. And a camel is huge, right? The eye of a needle. Okay. So this is a very miraculous situation where this is going to be amplified on a greater level when all hell breaks loose. And I don't know whether this child is part of the elect or not. I'm not sure. Okay, we don't know what the outcome is going to be for some for all of us. But then again, the hopeful elect have spiritual confidence as well. There's a spiritual confidence that the hopeful elect have. All right, that everything's going to be okay. It's going to be scary, but it's going to be a rocky ride, but it's going to be okay. All right. But this is just another example, just an example of the many ways Jake is going to be saved in these last days when all hell breaks loose. All right. So, expect more miracles, man. Expect miracles, especially with the Lord's sheep. All right. The men, women, and children. Okay. We're going to see a lot of this. All right. But this is just an example of Yahweh Bashem Meshai's mercies. Okay. 15 stories. The baby's okay, smiling away. All right. Because the Lord did say, I kill and I make alive. None can deliver out of my hand. The Lord creates peace and evil. Isaiah 45 verse 7, the right-hand side and the left-hand side. Okay. All right. So how much more his elect that call upon the name of Yahweh Bashem Yashai? Okay. Because the Lord's name is a strong tower, right? And this baby probably doesn't even know the name. Maybe the baby does. I don't know. Maybe the baby was in the room and the YouTube videos were playing back to back, and the Spirit and Power of Yahweh Bashem Yashai, one of the Great Millstone videos were there, and just played, and he heard the name of Yahweh Bashem Yashai, and his mind was saying Yahweh Bashem Yashai. He's 2 years old. The angels are working with his mind. And when he fell, maybe he called it in his mind. I don't know. The Lord does miracles, man. All right. Because sometimes, you know how YouTube is. You could be washing dishes or whatever, and the YouTube is playing. You could be listening to a lesson, right? Or you could be listening to music, and then the Spirit is where a lesson starts playing, right? And it could be one of the elders from Great Millstone, or the prophets, and the name of Yahweh Shem Yashai is praised and exalted, and you can hear it around your apartment or your house, and your baby's in the room listening to it. We just don't know what this child experienced. 15 stories, man. But anyway, oh yeah, and once again, Salakia, I'm not too well this morning, so I don't know whether I've said double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. Salakia for that. I believe I did, but just to be sure, I'm going to say it again. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone, and shalom to the prophets of our body, the men of the Lord. I urge you to subscribe and get edified by the men of Yahweh Bashem Yashai, our teachers across the four corners of the earth. Okay? And be edified, because we're coming into times that are going to get really, 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 really serious. Okay? All right. All praise to Yahweh Bashem Yashai, Bashem Rakak Badash, Mu'ath Bad Babal, Kwam Yashrala, Shalom.